Now, as we can see, we are inside of the blueprints of Unreal Engine. Let us start with our character movement for the ladder. As you can see, we have the moving backwards and forwards, change that around slightly, with the character of the movement going up and down on the ladder. Let us move over to the crouch function. Now, as you can see, when left control is pressed, the crouch action activates, lowering the max walk speed and activating the timeline. I will not show the timeline in this, and I will not show the timeline in this. After the timeline is updated, the capsule half height is set, and the character will be slower and smaller, compensating for crouch. When you let go of crouch, the uncrouch movement is chosen, and the max walk speed is set back to normal, reversing the timeline and activating the lerp. Let us move over to the pause menu, because this is quite big. As the input action for the pause menu is pressed, it creates a branch, asking if the pause menu is open or if it's closed. Now, if it is not open, it creates the pause menu widget, which then sets it and adds it to the viewport, allowing the player to see the pause menu. And then, later on, the input mode, game and UI is used to move, allow the mouse to be seen, and move and click on objects in that menu. As we can see by the set and the set game paused. Then, if it is pressed again and it goes into false, it asks if the pause menu is open, and if it's not, it removes from parent, unpauses the game, and allows the mouse to be hidden again. Now, let us move on to the flashlight. When the action for the flashlight is pressed, F in this case, a sound is played, followed by a flip-flop. The flip-flop allows the set visibility of both the flashlight and if the flashlight is visible. And a second event is used to make the flashlight follow the camera in the game. But I have this set off into a sequence, so I can have both a health regen and a stamina regen for later uses in the game. Now, let us go over to the HUD. It is a simple creation, be with a event, with a create HUD widget, and then it's adding it to the viewport. Now, let us move on to the stamina. As you can see, when left shift is pressed, it asks if the character is running. Then it sets the max walk speed higher if the character is running, which puts it onto a retriggerable delay, then onto a custom event. This custom event is this one here, showing that when it is active, it gets the stamina and takes away 2 each second the stamina is used. Then it goes into a branch and asks for less than 0, which then it removes the character running speed. And as you can see, I have a print screen showing how much stamina there is left in your bar. And for when the stamina bar runs out, you also have a increased stamina below that as well. Now, let us move on to stamina regen. It starts from the sequence at the event tick. That goes into delay and into a branch, which then asks if the stamina rate should be increased or decreased. Then, after a lot of calculations and a lot of branches, the stamina slowly starts to regenerate. Now, let us move on to fall damage, which is not quite correct on the calculations, but hopefully will be in later versions. As you see, we have a custom event and an event on land. On the event on land, we have a fall damage trigger, and in the event fall damage custom event, it goes straight into a branch and asks if the character is fallen. If true, it starts one of these calculations. If it is true on this first one, which if it is greater than 1000, then the character will take a small damage. If it will take small damage if it is less than the next one. But if it is more than the next one and less than the final one, then the character will take medium damage. But if it is greater than all three numbers, then the character will take large damage. Like I said before, this is still being checked over and changed accordingly to what it needs to be. Now, let us move on to the damage. As you can see, the event any damage is being used straight into a branch and a minus, asking how much health minus how much damage the character has taken, which then goes into a float. This float then returns the value and sets it as the character's health, which then asks if it is equal to 0, and if it is, the character is dead, restarting the game from 0. Now, let us move on to the ladder. As you can see, when the character is on the ladder, two overlaps begin. First with the collision box, and if the collision box is exited by the character. When the collision box is entered by the character is then confirmed to be on the ladder. But as soon as the character gets off of the ladder, they are set to off ladder and begin to walk like normal. I do not believe I should. Oh no, I did. Now, finally onto the AI. Now, as you can see, the AI is able to view and see if the player character is in their view, which is signified by this green laser here. A very big laser indeed. If the player character is being in front of this, the AI will chase the character until they leave it. Now, as we see here, on C pawn, the character is seen, and the AI will follow the player character. Now, as the AI follows the character, they are able to attack if they get close enough. If true, the AI moves to the destination of the character and targets the player character. On success, the player character will ask the AI, will ask if it can attack. If it can't, it will go back to seeing the player. If it can, it will play an animation montage, which is not complete, which goes into a delay, which then plays an attack.